Hello, all of you, my lovely friends. Welcome to the CDjunky, where one take is all it takes. My name is Aiden, and if this is your first time here, let me tell you just very briefly what this is all about. This is all about me sitting by my CD collection, pulling out some items, telling you a story, telling me why they're important to me, telling me why they're important to me, telling you why they're important to me, or why I think they're interesting. And hopefully there's some value in that to you. Otherwise, I don't know. I have a good time. I hope you do too. I want to talk to you today about an American treasure, Mojo Nixon. Mojo Nixon. Mojo Nixon is a drunken, three-chord rock and roller, sort of anarcho-hillbilly, radical, leftist. There's many adjectives you could apply to Mojo Nixon, but I think that just fantastical bearded messiah is what I'm gonna go with. And Mojo Nixon holds a very special place in my heart because when I was growing up as a teenager, I worked in our local record store. And I worked there too much. I mean, to be honest, as a teenager, I was putting in like 50-hour weeks sometimes. Like, can you imagine? But one thing we would do in the summertime is just work very late at night, far after closing, integrating new stock, building new displays, all of that stuff. And, midnight, 1, 2 a.m., and we'd be listening to Mojo Nixon. Mojo Nixon used to travel with a fella, and I think I have a CD of him right here. Conveniently, right? Sitting next to the ends. So Mojo Nixon used to travel with this cat named Skid Roper. And Mojo would play his guitar, and Skid would play percussion, but like paint bucket washboard type percussion. They had a real busker vibe, and Mojo would improvise these lyrics, and the whole feel of the thing is just anti-capitalism, anti-conformity, anything that might smack of the man. So not a big fan of MTV, McDonald's, you better watch out, all of that shit. So Mojo Nixon then kind of broke out on his own and began to travel with a band that he called the Toad Lickers. So incredible. And he became quite a staple for us down at that record store. And remember, I was a teenager, and Mojo Nixon was coming to Dayton, Ohio. And he was going to be playing in this bar. I don't know when, but my father and my boss took me to this bar. They negotiated with the man at the door to let me in because I was like 16. And they did let me in. And we go into this little bar, it's a tiny stage in the corner, and we notice sitting at the bar is the man himself, Mojo Nixon. So my 16-year-old self, I go in to this place, I sit down at the bar next to Mojo Nixon, and I tell him what a big fan I am of his. There he is. He says bad words on his record. And I tell him I'm his biggest fan. And that I'm there on a school night to watch him play. And I get his autograph. He signs a Budweiser box for me. The Budweiser box was like a large, like a case. And I couldn't take that around, so I tore off the section with his signature on it. And I have it, Mojo Nixon, on a case of Budweiser, has to be, at the risk of dating myself now, about 25 years old, this signature. Mojo Nixon. I watched that show. They were so drunk, I thought the drummer was going to throw up between every track. He would sit there and kind of just breathe heavy, and then he'd go right back into it. And it was incredible. It was an incredible experience for my young self, and I think a fun story. But anyway, let me know what you think. Do you know about Mojo Nixon? Do you know about his Christmas album, Mojo Nixon and the Toad Lickers, Horny Holidays, which I do have, but it's not, there was not space for it in the alphabet, so it's lost somewhere here in the racks. But anyway, ramble over. I love every one of you who sat with me through this. I hope you had a good time. And like I said, if you know Mojo, let me know, because I feel like that makes some kind of bond between us. Some sort of kinship exists between Mojo Nixon fans. Anyway, smooches. I love you. Goodbye.